Hello, everybody, and it's Wednesday night again. You know what time it is. It's time to go on the air tonight. Joe Pardini, Chuck Licata from K-Max Sports join me. We're going to talk sports for the whole first hour. Lots of stuff going on there. We're in the middle. We ended the World Series. We'll have thoughts about that. It's going to be good for all you sports fans. Then, the second hour, Alex, the player to be named later, joins me as we delve into the world's politic and current events and anything else we can think of. And your phone calls, write these numbers down. 866-225-5401, 512-539-0357, or tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA, hashtag that bad boy armed radio. It's going to be a great show tonight, folks. I cannot wait. You are at the home for the anti-media. I'm Mike Allen. This is Armed Radio Global Network, and you're on the air.
Are you a gamer? A girl gamer at that? If you're looking for the best hangout point to discuss games, then the right place for you is joystickgirls.com. Meet new gamers, discuss topics, and share hints and tips. Now looking for new members. So sign up today at the new site that keeps getting better and better, joystickgirls.com.
Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauces, not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts that you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Hey everybody, this is Jimmy.
And this is Paul.
We are hosting a new show called Pod Talk, politically offensive talk.
It's going to be about politics, religion, the presidential race, current events.
We're going to have some guests that come on, hopefully Donald Trump himself. Wishful thinking.
No, we're going to have Hillary on.
But that would be nice. I'd love to get a hold of Hillary.
I throw any fucking that.
So come and join us on Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, right after Night Talk with Joe Rocks.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern, Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val, 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen, 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Welcome, everybody. It's that time of the Wednesday night. If you're joining me now, we are live on Armed Radio Global. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by E24.com. E24.com, you download the app from Google Play or iTunes. Put the app in your phone. Put the zip code of where you're at. It will find a restaurant near you that will deliver food to you. It's like having a food truck in your pants. Also, HotSauceVault.com. That is my new favorite place to play. Every payday I go there. The HotSauceVault.com webpage, if you're listening right now, you should have a place to sell soft baby wipes because your stuff is awesome. It's awesome going down, but not so awesome going out. You know what I mean? Welcome to the show, folks. We got a wild show for you tonight. The whole first hour is nothing but sports, so please welcome on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, my friend and Armed Radio Global on the air with Mike Allen, sports prognosticator supreme, Crazy Joe Pardini. How you doing, sir?
It's pretty good, my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing great because no Michigan team played any teams from Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, so I don't have to hear your crap.
Oh well, Mike, I'm gonna have to give you a little dig today.
Why is that? Why would that be any different than any other day?
Oh, who's that?
Go ahead. I'm trying to get Chuck on the line here.
We'll wait until Chuck comes on.
No, go ahead.
Tell us about your week. What did you do?
How was my... No, go ahead. Go with what you were saying.
No, well, now I'm going to wait for Chuck because I want Chuck to be involved in this conversation. It's like a double bang. I get you, Chuck get you.
So why are you busting my chops this week?
Owner of KMAX Sports. I apologize. I can't get to you.
See, now Chuck's going to bail on us, man. I'm not going to leave a message. He'll call when he's ready. All right, tell me why are you going to bust my chops again? This seems like a weekly thing with you. So I don't know why I even bothered. Okay, go ahead.
So I watched the game this weekend. I figured, oh man, this is going to be a great game this weekend. It started about 9:30 in the morning in London, and I said, oh, this game's going to be a close game. You guys got blown out of the joint.
Oh, man. Well, why would you think that would be any different?
It's like...
we suck. We're horrible. We're absolutely... my tweets were so bad that the Lions, the official Lions Twitter account, contacted me and said, please refrain from being negative. I said, please refrain from being negative. Your whole play is negative. This whole team is negative.
Well, they gave up. It was like, and I'm not saying anything bad about Kansas City or anything, and whoever lives out in Kansas City, I'm not negative.
You can't say anything bad about Kansas City. They're the Lions suck. We're horrible. We're absolutely
horrible. I don't think Kansas
horrible.
City is that great, and I don't think they're going to beat on New England or Denver or the upper. But Detroit just laid down in the second. From the second quarter on.
Okay, so why do you have to rub it in?
I'm just being honest with you.
Why you gotta rub it in? Why you gotta rub it in like that?
I'm being honest. Do you want me to lie to you?
Well, but I already know all this stuff, so why are you bringing it up?
Well, I just wanted our listeners to know what I was saying.
I get it. Detroit sucks. They're horrible. They're absolutely atrocious. We got it.
Mike, are you going to be getting that shirt and hat for you?
No, I'm not going to be an Eagles fan. I've stuck with them for all these years.
Hey, well, you got to remember now, the bet is if Penn State beats Michigan and the Eagles beat Detroit, then you'll be wearing an Eagle jersey with a Penn State hat on. And it has to be on your Facebook.
For how long?
Let's say until the end of the year.
No.
Why? That was the bet.
No, that wasn't the bet. It wasn't for a whole year. It was never for a whole year. It was never for a whole year.
For end of November until the New Year's.
No,
like
that wasn't the deal.
What was the deal?
1 week.
Oh, no, it was a month. I tried to sneak in a couple more days.
No, 1 week.
No, it was a month. It was a month.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. You're backing up because Detroit sucks.
No, I'm not. I'm not wearing it for. It's not going to be up there till the new year.
Why? That's a fair situation. Are you confident that Michigan's going to break even and then we don't have to go through the silly bet?
Well, I don't think Detroit's going to win anything. To be quite honest with you.
So the Eagles will even it out. If not, you'll be wearing that nice, beautiful white Eagle shirt. I hope it ain't a Sam Bradford jersey.
Joining us now on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline is Crazy Joe's backup, fellow Pennsylvanian and Philadelphia fan. So I don't. From K-Max Sports, Chuck Lakaida. How you doing, Chuck?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Thank you, sir. Mr. Joe, always a pleasure, sir. Always great to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's pretty good, my friend. And can I ask you a question, Chuck? You missed out on the fun of...
He's busting my chops already, Chuck.
I asked Mike what happened on Sunday morning. I turned on a football game, and I said, oh, this is going to be a great game. And it was Detroit, Kansas City.
Yeah. I think Detroit forgot to show up. I don't know. You tell me. Dude, that was annihilation. I was done in the third quarter. I was like, okay, I got stuff I could do that's better than this.
Well, I was telling Joe, Chuck, I blew up Twitter with just being mad. And as a fan, I have that right. And the actual Lions, the Lions account sent me a private message. It said, "Please refrain from any more negative comments." Like, how about you put a positive? How about you put a freaking team on the field? If you don't want to be so freaking negative. Oh man, I went off. I copied and pasted it, and that was like a huge mistake. I invited him to come on the show. I was like, "Come on the show. Tell me why the team I follow, the team I put my money on, all their stuff. Tell me why you suck so bad."
You've been doing it for so long.
And for so long, it's like, well, and I had these guys tweeting me back and forth. It's like, well, they're rebuilding. And so we've been rebuilding since 1947. What else can we rebuild?
Oh my God!
We had the number one
rebuilding since they won that second round playoff game against the Cowboys way back when.
Yeah, 92, 94? Yeah. I mean, come on, what the hell? Look, the team sucks, okay? The team is atrocious.
I just wanted to prove a little point that I wanted to see a good game on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I got it, Joe. See, Chuck, why do I let him on, Chuck?
Little bit of moonshine. I was going to maybe toast a win for you.
He's just beating me up here. What the hell? I mean, I can't even sit here and say, yeah, my team sucks, and he still beats me up. What the hell's up with that?
Well, that's what you in life, apparently.
You know how bad?
Can I ask you a question, Chuck?
Do you know how bad at the end of it? Detroit. Hold on. At the end of it. Hold on, Joe. At the end of any Detroit Lions game, all I want to say to the team at the end of the game. The only thing I want to say.
Team, head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.
And I can't even say that. I can't even say that. Okay, yeah. Now, Joe. Now, Joe.
Called out on Twitter by the Lions front office.
I was brutal.
Twitter of the Lions. You're doing some serious damage there.
I was brutal.
Wow, you're touching some nerves.
I was saying.
Unfortunately, no comeback because you're absolutely right.
I said the Fords need to sell the team because they make crappy cars and they have a crappy team, and that was brutal. It was brutal. Called out the players because they didn't even act like they wanted to be there. They weren't even playing like they wanted to be there. I mean, that just pisses me off. I mean, I'm paying you millions of dollars. People are paying, and they're selling tickets online for $435 for 4 tickets. Families are dropping $400 to go to Ford Field and watch crap. Total crap.
And they're wearing paper bags, too. They're wearing paper bags. They're doing the old Saint gimmick.
And I got an NFL Sunday ticket. I paid extra money for that, so I could watch my team after going to the playoffs last year and having a 13-3 season. And in the offseason, I watched as they dismantled the number one run defense. They dismantled the secondary. They dismantled the offensive line and brought in a bunch of has-beens. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stafford can't even throw a pass.
That's what they call rebuilding, Mike.
All right, Mike. I want to get back to our little gig here. I really do.
No, really, we're heading into commercial.
Do you agree with the theory?
What's that?
If Penn State beats Michigan, and the Eagles are just going to steal the turkey from Detroit, so that Mike should wear an Eagles jersey with a Penn State hat for the end of the year.
Okay, but my question is, oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's more than fair. But the question is, what do you have to do if Penn State loses and Detroit beats the Eagles?
You'll have to wear a Michigan T-shirt and a Detroit Lions hat.
And I'm willing to do it.
Till 2020.
Well, there you go. Beautiful.
But it's got to be both. It's got to be it's got to be the clean sweep. One can't win and one can't be the it's got to be a clean sweep. It can't be the kicker or this or that. It's because I don't think Penn State's got a chance against Michigan, and I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving Day, and when the Lions are down, they seem to pull one out of their ass once a year, and I'm hoping it's that day.
Well, you better hope he cares, but I was going to say, we got a much better chance of winning this than you do as far as the sweep, because there ain't no way the Lions are beating the Eagles. No way.
Well, but here's how the Lions operate, and I've been watching them my whole life. They'll go to London and lay an egg. They'll go play Cleveland and get wiped out, and then they'll go play Green Bay and win. It's uncanny. You can't even bet them. You can't even bet the damn team because you don't know what they're going to do. You have no idea.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to give you a little example.
There's no trend. There's nothing.
Vegas,
huh?
The bookies in Vegas are saying Detroit. Wait, I read this article, and this might be the Detroit Lions on the phone saying, "Tell Mike Allen to please calm down. Our team is doing very good."
Yeah,
Mike?
No, they're not.
Oh, well, I thought they had my private number.
No.
I try to help you out, Mike. Jesus. You got to be patient with your Detroit team. In the spread.
What you just said
straight up flying,
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
All right.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Your Detroit Lions are 1-7. 1-7. Right?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
When you bet with them,
but Joe,
they're still 1-7.
But Joe,
they're not good either way.
Joe, you have to understand the Detroit Lions. I've been watching this team my entire life. They will get the snot kicked out of them by an average team, and then beat an undefeated team the next week, and then lose to a team with a losing record the next week. You can't, there's no rhyme to reason. I have no idea what they're going to do week to week. I have absolutely no idea. So on Thanksgiving night, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. You're in Detroit. You're in Ford Field.
Get it right.
You're in Ford Field. Everybody's healthy. I mean, they suck, but they got to be mad. Hopefully my tweets got them fired up. I don't know.
Mike, get it right. It's going to be 12:30. Detroit's always 12:30.
Yeah.
Detroit, 12:30.
It's going to be
Dallas,
in Detroit.
4 o'clock.
Yep.
And then the night game, I don't even give a shit. It's always a college game I'm watching.
Yeah, it's the TCU Texas is what I'll be watching.
Yeah, that's me too. I don't know what's even the NFL game. And you know who wants to come back on? Our guest from last week.
Well, have him call in.
He wants the phone number.
It's the same phone numbers, though. The listeners, anybody can call in. It's 866-225-5401 or 512-539-0357.
So, Mike, are you really upset with the owner?
They need to sell the team. They absolutely need to sell the team. But we need to take a break to pay the bills, so stick around. We'll be back for more whipping. We haven't even got to sports yet, because Joe all week long, all he does is wring his hands about how he's going to eat my lunch every Wednesday night. So maybe we'll talk some actual sports when we get back. I don't know. I'm Mike Allen. You're at the home of the anti-media, Armed Radio Global, and you are on the air.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Brain feeling a bit fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hazley.
It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern.
It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com.
Plus live video on Ustream.tv.
From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail on the World War II armor or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast and pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. I'm Mike Allen. You're listening to Armed Radio Global. Joining me live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Crazy Joe Pardini, the official on the air with Mike Allen, sports prognosticator, and from K-Mac Sports, Chuck Licata. Okay, welcome back. Now, Joe. Lions suck. I got it.
Yes.
The bet's already down. Let's talk football now. The listeners are like, they're tired. I'm getting tweets here. They're tired of you beating me up.
Why, Mike?
They actually started a GoFundMe. They started a GoFundMe account for my feelings.
I don't think it's the Ross.
I mean, they've started a GoFundMe account for my feelings to buy me candy and soft things and stuff to ease the pain.
Wow. So you should be happy that I'm abusing you.
All right.
Would that make you feel better?
Do you want me to get you a tissue that says Detroit sucks?
No, But see, I already know they suck. See, that's the whole thing. Anyway, what games you got?
He's being called out by the Lions brass to quit being so negative on Twitter. He's admitted it. He's past that point. So
I'm
think he understands and knows. Yeah.
If I ever make it rich, I'm buying that team. Firing everybody. Cleaning house.
I want in. If you buy that team, I want in. I want to help you build that thing.
Yeah.
Because that would be one of the biggest projects ever.
I will fire everybody. Everybody's gone. Start over. You can't do any worse. Anyway, okay, you got some games for us, Joe.
No, before we get the game.
God, no, go to the game. No,
I gotta give you a little bit of credit, but not a lot. A little bit of credit.
What's that?
You did pick how many games in the World Series would go.
But I picked the wrong team winning.
Yes, but I picked the right team.
Yeah, you got it right. I got it wrong. I thought it was going to be the Mets in 5, and I tell you, the Royals got a hell of a team. They got a really good baseball team.
And Dale Murphy, or whatever his name, he batted like 400 in the playoffs. And he did what? A 120 in the World Series?
Yeah, about a 120. Yeah.
It was like they already had his name on that trophy for MVP. And he didn't even do nothing. He looked like... And here's the sad part. Mike, and I'm not going to blush your teams anymore, but you're a Detroit, Lions or Tigers fan?
Yeah, Tigers. Tigers weren't even close this year. They were 500.
All right, no, I'm not busting your ass. So you're owner of that team, and Murphy comes to you and says, hey, I want to play for Detroit. How much would you offer him?
I'd give him $10 million for 5 years.
Because you would think he didn't deliver in the big game?
No, he's a good baseball player. It just wasn't the Mets' time. I mean, they were a good team. They didn't really need nobody picked the Mets to be in the series. Nobody.
No. Everybody picked Washington.
Everybody picked Washington, and everybody was jumping on the
Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Nobody picked the Mets. So to make it to that game, I think it was beyond their mental capacity to understand what the hell happened. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how Kansas City was last year. Nobody picked Kansas City to be in there, and when they made it, they were just glad to be there. And I think the Mets were just glad to be there, and where the Kansas City team was focused. The whole offseason, this was their goal. That's all they talked about, was getting back to the big game because they weren't going to lose. And they did exactly what they set out to do. So, you can't – I can't really pick one series, especially baseball. You play like, 6,000 games in the season? Yeah. You can't pick one series and say, that guy lost all this money because he didn't produce in the big game. Well, he produced in the playoffs. He was probably the playoff MVP. So you can't pick it on one series and say, well, that guy's trash. I'd get him on I'd get him on the Tigers. Goddamn right.
To me, it's, I think we talked about this, and I don't think Chuck was involved in this conversation. I think baseball should end when football's starting.
Yes. It was me and you that had that discussion.
It's too long. And they always wonder why we're not getting ratings. Why? Because you're going head-to-head with football. That only goes 16 weeks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And baseball, you go from September until November.
Well, baseball starts in like April.
Yeah, April till November. I apologize.
Yeah. April till October, November. Yeah. So, and that's the same with basketball and hockey. I mean, they play thousands of games. I mean, it's just ridiculous. My dad had a philosophy. My dad was a football coach and a teacher. He said, fall is for football, winter's for wrestling and basketball, spring is for baseball. You don't play football in the spring. You don't play baseball in the fall. And I think it was, we did have this conversation, Joe, where, these parents are making these baseball kids play baseball year-round. Well, guess what, parents? By the time your kid gets to high school, he's not going to go on to college and play baseball. He's going to get tired of it. You got to break it up. I mean, as long as they're doing something. I mean, get them out there doing something so they're not running the streets and being knuckleheads. But, football is for fall. Winter is for wrestling and basketball. And spring is for baseball. That's it.
Yeah, because it's just too long. I think it's... like, for example, I love all 4 sports. And it's just... How can you follow it all?
You can't.
You can't.
I didn't even start paying attention to baseball till September, and then I just go and look to see where my Tigers are at, and if they're in the hunt, I'll watch. If they're not in the hunt, I'll wait till the World Series.
My friend says, this is what my friend tells me. You're not a Sixer fan. You're not a Flyer fan. Well, how can you follow the 2 teams if you got baseball going until November, you got football ending at the beginning of the year, and then you got March Madness. Then at the end, hockey and basketball is like in the playoffs. Where do you fit it in? You can't. And they wonder, where's the ratings? The ratings got to go where who's going to play more, work their ass off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, I know.
And I'd rather watch the college kids anytime.
Oh, absolutely. College ball, and I got the Ohio Bowling Green game going on in the background, and I've just kind of off topic here, but it's weird to me watching Ohio and Bowling Green on a Thursday night, traditionally JV football night, and University of Ohio is green and white, and Bowling Green is burgundy and orange or brown and orange.
Oh, my God.
I was like, wouldn't you think Bowling Green would be green somewhere?
You would think, right?
Anyway, but back on topic. Now, you had some... I know exactly what you're saying, Joe. And now we got the NBA starts, and people are like, well, why don't you talk...
No, I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to ask you. You, too. Did you watch the game last night?
What game?
Toledo and Northern Illinois.
No, I did not.
It was Northern Illinois upset Toledo. That's going to end Toledo's chance of making, the Big 5 or Big 6 bowl? Where they could get into
the playoffs? Yeah. Well, no, they could still close out with one loss and still get in a pretty good bowl.
Well, yeah, but you're going to have
That's the MAC.
Temple.
That's the MAC. See, now we're getting into a whole other... You want to start the discussion? I'll start this discussion. This whole playoff thing that they're trying to appease everybody with, it still boils down to people's opinions. It's not played on the field. And we've got a whole month without college football. December. Basically, the whole entire month of December, there's no college football. Because everybody ends their seasons, going with this. And everybody's done by the end of November, and then they're lining up for the Final Four and everything. And everybody wants to say, well, they're in school, they got to go to classes, they got finals. Let me tell you something right goddamn now. If you're playing in a Division I college football program, you're not going to classes, okay? Don't feed me that crap. When they got Division II with playoffs, when they got high school teams in playoffs all the way up to November, you telling me that just because you're in a Division I school, you know you're not going to class? Don't feed me that line. 32 teams, 5 extra weeks, start out at the beginning of December. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can get into the bracket, and if you lose, go play a bowl game. That's your consolation prize. You made it 3 rounds in, and you went and played the banana peel Chiquita Bowl somewhere, or whatever freaking bowl they got. Or what you could do is you could collect your patches along the way. You got 32 teams. That's 16 games week 1. Week 1, 16 games. Make it a bowl game. You collect that patch. If you win, you move on to the next weekend. Next weekend is 8 games. Collect that patch, move on. Then you got 4 games. Collect that patch and move on to the Final Four. If you're in the Final Four, make that the Fiesta, the Cotton, the Sugar, and the what's the other big one? Orange Bowl. So when you go into the national championship, you've got the trail of bowl games that you played to get to the national championship. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, you got it right on the nail. But they won't do it.
No, they won't do it.
Because did you hear rumors last year? ESPN tried to move this year's playoff games because it was being played on a Saturday.
Yeah. They want it on a Monday night.
Yeah, and they said no because we're not going to do it that way. You're playing, you know what I mean? Because I think, what was it, Pro Football was playing that day too?
Yeah, it was the wild card game.
Yeah, so they didn't want to go head-to-head with the NFL.
Which they wouldn't have to do, just play it at a different time during the game, but go ahead, yeah.
So it was like, how are you going to do it? It's just, like I said again, you got too much sports stuffed in one.
Well, you could do a playoff, just like I said. It's 4 extra weeks, and you know, if you lose, then you can go study. But Chuck, you and I live here in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I was a cop for a long time downtown Austin, Texas. I mean, you're keyed in with all the folks around the UT campus and all that kind of. Those kids ain't going to class. Not till Charlie Strong showed up. But even then,
well, amen. Amen to that, brother.
But even then, they're not going to class. Come on.
No.
Come on.
No way. No.
Don't feed me that line. Don't give me that nonsense.
Anybody that believes that believes in, I don't know,
fairy dust or something.
Easter Bunny.
Yeah, they don't. They're not going to class. Yeah. But this isn't.
I think your scenario for the 4-week playoff is perfect. I really do.
Yeah, 32 teams.
It needs to be that way. We got to get rid of the. We got to get rid of the. I mean, you know, we're happy to have the 4, but you've got to expand it. I mean, there's too many damn good teams, and I was so happy. I mean, I'm not a big Ohio State fan. Of course, I'm from Pennsylvania like Joe, so we don't want Ohio State winning anything. But at the same time, for the principle of it, I was glad that Ohio State won because it's like, see, there was a need for this.
Yeah, because they went in there right fourth,
taken care of, and let's get the proper venue. Let's get the proper setup for this. Let's not just do 4 because 4 ain't going to get it, like you said.
Well, see, all they did with the current format is they extended the argument from 2 teams to 4 teams, and it all boils down to an opinion. And I had an argument with a sports guy on one of my old shows, and he doesn't even come on my show anymore because I'm so adamant about this, and he just doesn't make any sense. His argument was, well, who wants to see a national championship between BYU and TCU? There's no money in it. And I said, well, you just made my argument. That's exactly why they won't go to a playoff. And I told him, he says, well, everybody wants to see Miami and the sexy schools, Miami, LSU, Alabama, Michigan, if they ever get their back on, you know what I'm saying? Because they bring a lot of money. And I said, well, you just made my point. Everybody manipulates the system to put the 2 biggest moneymakers at number 1. You'll never see an Army versus Temple. You'll never see, but you would if you put them in a playoff.
Yeah. But can I ask you a question, Mike?
Sure. Then we got to go to break.
Alabama,
do I?
Championship game. When was that? A couple years ago?
The Auburn, Alabama? No.
Was that Auburn or was it LSU and Alabama?
I don't know. Alabama's like in there every year. They can go in there with like 2 losses, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I heard the ratings was horrible on that game because people are sick of the season.
They're sick of they're sick. Oh yeah, and Alabama got drugged. Who was that, Chuck? Remember that?
It was LSU.
And LSU just freaking beat the snot out of them. I remember that. And they went in there with 2 losses. They went in there with 2 losses over 3 teams that were undefeated, and one of them was TCU, and the other one was Boise State.
And, I don't think this playoff system's working too well.
No, it won't. They got to expand it. They got to make it a true playoff.
You think Baylor don't deserve to be in there?
They just got to make it. They got to put it on the field. If you don't think a MAC team can be a national championship because of a strength of schedule when the teams that they play don't play the other teams, man, it's ridiculous. But hey, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to finally, hopefully, get to the games that Crazy Joe Pardini has picked and sent to me earlier today that we will talk about, prognosticate about, if he doesn't get more sidetracked. And also, Chuck, we'll be right back. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, your home for the anti-media.
Are you a gamer? A girl gamer at that? If you're looking for the best hangout point to discuss games, then the right place for you is joystickgirls.com. Meet new gamers, discuss topics, and share hints and tips. Now looking for new members. So sign up today at the new site that keeps getting better and better, joystickgirls.com.
Hey there, all you creepy people. This is Kevin Wayne from Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
This is Nima. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns, baby.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauce is not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts, so you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, for Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Now, let's join the show to see what the boys are talking about tonight.
Joe,
see, you don't even let me. You know what, Jimmy? You know what, Jimmy?
What's that? It's a
tonight. I am canceling. Right now, I am done with Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. I am ending my show tonight, thanks to Jimmy. I no longer want to do it because I've had enough of arguing with him. So, good night.
Well, that's kind of awkward. Whew. Well, I guess we got 24 hours of music. Yeah, stay tuned. Armed Radio Global, home of the big guns. Boom. Welcome back to the show. I had to dig that one up. That was from my friend Matt Hazley. His show is every Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. That was a commercial we kind of made to make fun of a meltdown he had with his then producer, Jimmy. And but his show is still on. It's not canceled. So check him out every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central, right here on Armed Radio Global. If you would like to advertise with us, send us an email. Send me an email, MikeAllenSports@gmail.com. If you'd like to call in to the show tonight, 1-800-or 1-866-225-5401, 512-539-0357, or tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA, hashtag it, Armed Radio. Welcome back to the show. Joining me again on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, the same line that you guys would be on if you'd call in. Our Crazy Joe Padini. We got a lot of listeners. They just don't like to call in. I don't know why. I have no idea. Maybe one day. Crazy Joe Pardini, who will be getting to our football picks this week. And from KMAC Sports, Chuck Lakaida, who I'll be calling working for this Friday, calling the Pflugerville Panthers versus the... God, who's breathing? Oh, we got Darth Vader. Getting me all moist. The Pflugerville Panthers. Pflugerville Panthers versus the Stony Point Tigers, and that's for a playoff spot, and that'll be a lot of fun. Join me and Roland Rodriguez, and we'll be bringing all the action live. It's KMAC. God dang, what the heck?
What's that?
Blowing out candles here? What are we doing?
Come on, that's my brother Chuck. We got him.
KMAC
Sports from Pennsylvania.
KMACsports.com. We'll be calling the action.
Just for the record,
starting at 7:50.
You're 0-1 calling games for KMAC, so I expect to win this week.
I know. Well, you didn't really send me into a good situation there. I mean, we had one of the best teams in the conference playing against a team that's obviously rebuilding. Well, hopefully this weekend. Well, who am I calling for? Pflugerville, right?
Yes, you're calling for Pflugerville.
Okay,
yes,
so hopefully Pflugerville will pull out a win. And for those of you who's breathing into their phone, geez, oh Pete, you're killing me. The Pflugerville Panthers are the team that they used their uniforms for the TV show Friday Night Lights.
That's
Dillon Panthers. It's the same, and they filmed it. They filmed that in and around Austin, Pflugerville, and Round Rock. So, so that's pretty cool. They even had my team, Hutto, in one of the playoff teams. We used the Hutto uniforms, yeah. Well, all the uniforms they used for the teams that they played against were all teams from around here. So every week they'd play the game, and I'd be like, oh, man, that's Westlake, or oh, man, that's, McNeil, or that's, it was pretty cool. Plus, I was a cop at the time they were filming that, and they filmed it in East Austin, so we'd have to set up perimeters for their sets and stuff. So that was kind of cool. Kind of a cool thing. All right, Joe. You got you got your picks or what now?
Before we get
not before, Joe. We got 15 minutes left. You've used the whole hour talking about everything else but what are the games we're talking about?
We're going to talk about the games, but I had a good weekend last weekend. You know that?
I know. You won $100. You won $100.
I won some cash this weekend. So that's pretty good,
man.
Yeah, I went on the horses. I went on illegal gambling. I won on another illegal gambling, but we won money.
Well, we don't want to talk about illegal gambling.
No, we don't want to do that.
All right, so you had a good weekend. So what are the teams?
Can I ask you a question, Jeff?
What?
When are we going to get to the games? Come on, man. Let's go.
I'm working on it. I gotta prep our way into this because.
Well, you've been prepping for two segments here.
I try to leave Penn State and Michigan off the list, but Mike pushed me to put them on the list. So we're going to save Penn State for last.
Well, you have to put.
The main game. The main game is, hold on now, I gotta look. Jeez, you guys are rushing me. That's a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, I know. 2 whole segments. Waiting on.
Yeah, it's like Detroit getting pressured every weekend.
I know. Jeez.
Okay, TCU giving 5 to Oklahoma State, and the over and under 77.5.
I got TCU to cover over.
TCU to cover for sure.
No, Oklahoma State's home.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma State scores enough that they get the over. I'm in play, definitely.
Yeah, TCU to cover the over.
I'm going to tell you, this game is going to be, and whoever channelized these channels, they booked this game on the same time as the Florida State Clemson game.
Ooh.
Good.
I mean, I wanted to watch both of them, but it's hard to watch both games at the same time.
That's why they invented split screen.
Well, that's what I got. Oklahoma State, I'm taking. It's going to be 43-39.
And you got Oklahoma State to cover or to win?
What?
You got them to cover or to win?
I'm going with the cover.
Okay. Now, Chuck, in his defense, he did pick Texas over Oklahoma.
Yes.
Yeah, I won't argue that at all.
And then Texas did go out and lay an egg against Oklahoma State.
Like Texas did against Iowa State? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're starting to play like the Detroit Lions. All right, what's the next game?
All right, the next game. We were just talking about that a couple minutes ago. Clemson, give it 12 to Florida State. And the over and under is 55.
I'll take Clemson to cover under.
You know, I'm going to go Florida State. I think I haven't seen enough of Clemson in big games this year. And I can be wrong, and Joe may just, slap me and throw me under the bus, but I haven't seen enough of Clemson. I'm going to put Florida State, and I'm going to go with Mike. I'm going to pick the under on that.
Me, I'm gonna go with Clemson to win, but it's going to be a tight game, so I have to go with Florida State with the points. With the 12 points, that's too much for Florida State.
You think so?
Yeah, because the coach is too good for Florida State. You know, I mean, he's like the next Bobby Allen.
Yeah, but Clemson's really good, so.
And I got to go with Florida State with the points, and I'm taking the over. With the 55, it could be 35-30.
All right, what's your next one?
The next one is the last main event of the night. CBS is covering it at 8 o'clock. Alabama give it 6 to LSU. And the over and under is 48.
I got LSU to win. And I'll take the under. I think it's going to be low scoring.
Mike, you and I must be reading from the same TVs or something, because I am all over LSU on this one.
Yeah, I want LSU to win, but I don't think it's
over LSU on this one.
I don't think it's going to be high scoring, though. I think the defense is going to show up.
Yes, I agree. I'll just cast you in the under.
Yeah, and I'm going with you guys. I watched every LSU and Alabama game has been field goal fest. They kick field goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be, we agreed on that one right across the board.
I think it's going to be like 21. It's going to be like 21-17 or maybe even 17-10. It's not going to be high scoring.
So, Mike, can I ask you a favor?
All right, what do you got? No, I'm not wearing any shirts.
No, we're not talking about that. I want to know. I want to know. Mike, I want to know who's running against that game.
Who's running against it? What do you mean?
Like, who's on ABC?
I don't know. Is that the Michigan games the same time?
I think the Ohio State game is on at 8 o'clock.
Hey, no one cares about Ohio State until the 28th. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Ohio State. They can play anybody they want. They can beat anybody they want. Nobody cares about Ohio State until November 28th.
All right, so we got to get to Mike's favorite team here. Mike's favorite team. Hey, I give them credit. They turned it around, and hey, they did good. Michigan give it 24 to Rutgers. Over and under 50.
Give it how many to Rutgers?
24.
24 to Rutgers? Holy cow.
It's in Michigan, too.
God, that's a bit much. Yeah, but Rutgers isn't bad. They're not bad.
Is their coach still fired?
Huh?
Is the coach still fired, or did they get a new coach, or no?
No, but no, Rutgers isn't that bad. They're one of those teams you got to show up and play. You can't just show up and count the win. Sorry, I had to get the background music going here.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I know. You like to give it a little. You're trying to. Hey, you remember, Mike? I'm not involved in Chuck's bet.
Hey, what did he say, Chuck? I couldn't hear him. What? What'd you say?
Hey, remember, Mike? I'm not involved in Chuck's bet about singing the Michigan song.
I can't. What? I can't quite hear you. You're going to be singing it after they beat Penn State down. I tell you that. That's next week, isn't it? Is that next week?
I don't know. It might be the same weekend as the Eagles in Detroit.
Oh, it might be. It might be Thanksgiving weekend.
Mike will be biting on his turkey. Because
I won't.
The Eagles, he'll be seeing the Eagles win, and it's in Happy Valley, ain't it?
Michigan, Penn State, yeah, it's in Happy Valley.
Oh, boy. Mike, I just hope you don't see first, baby.
No, Michigan's not losing that game.
All right, Mike, what's your pick?
For
Michigan.
Well, Michigan, of course.
What's the point for?
I don't know. What was it? He gave him 12, right?
24.
24 points.
24.
I think Rutgers.
Whatever you want. Jeez,
I think Rutgers is going to cover that. They're going to lose, but I think they're a better team than a 24-point underdog. I really do.
So you're in the over and under?
What was it? 70?
50.
50?
Yes.
I'll take the over. It'll be like 34-21 or something like that.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah. Well, you talk about the fact that, Rutgers is a good team, but Rutgers has been blown out the last 2 weeks by Wisconsin and Ohio State. So Rutgers isn't as good as Mike is leaning to, even though this is a home game for Rutgers. So I'm going with Michigan to cover, and they're going to get the over. They have to because they've got to beat it by 25. So it's easy to pick the over on that one.
I don't know. I think Rutgers is going to cover. It's not going to be close, but it'll be within 24 points.
Well, Mike,
that's a lot of points.
Ball in front of me.
That's a lot of points. Well, of course, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
I got the crystal ball. I'm rubbing it, and it says to me, Michigan 42-17.
42-17. Okay.
And Michigan's thinking, we got to win one for the Gipper the following week against Penn State.
So Marty McFly came back in time and handed you a book with all the results of all the stuff. and Doc Brown said, "Don't use that for evil." And you just told me the final score. That's what happened.
So when Michigan loses, you can blame it on me.
Okay.
So now we got to get this last game in.
Well, dude, we're already at the top of the hour, man.
Penn State. Northwestern's giving Penn State 2.
I got Northwestern for the win. What's the over and under?
39.
Over.
Wow, I'm going Penn State under.
Of course you're going Penn State.
This game scares me, and it's going to be on the ESU network, if anybody has the ESU network. And I'm going to be a little scared on this one. And I got to go with Penn State, but it's going to be close. It might even go into overtime. Penn State, 42-41.
Wow.
Wow. Dang.
But truthfully.
What?
I don't want to seem over dramatic, but I don't really care what happens here.
Well, hey,
we got it.
Hey, Mike, I got to sneak 2 more games.
No. If you want to stick around, we're already late into the break. If you want to stick around, when we come back, we're going to have Alex, the player to be named later, and we've got a lot of topics that we'll be talking about. But see, this is what happens, Joe. When you blow up the first 2 segments, when you blow up the first 2 segments, harshing my gig, then you don't have enough time in the end. See? All right, we'll be back. We'll be back. Hey, mute your phones, God dang it! You're out of control. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, your home for the anti-media, and you are on the air.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Brain feeling a bit fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hazley.
It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern.
It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com.
Plus live video on Ustream.tv.
From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail in the World War II armor, or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast and pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com, with over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry, many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Hi, welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Eat24.com. Eat24.com. Put the zip code in the app that you can download for free off of iTunes or Google Play. They will find a restaurant near you that will deliver food to you. It's like having a food truck in your pants. Also, HotSauceVault.com. If you have not been to that wonderful webpage, and if you are a connoisseur of everything that's spicy, go to HotSauceVault.com. They got gag gifts. They got every sort of hot sauce imaginable to man on HotSauceVault.com. Now, welcome back into the third hour. Joining me live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, and also joining me live in the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave, Alex, the player to be named later. And on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Joe Pardini, Crazy Joe Pardini. And we got Blanche.
Hello, Michael.
It's Mike. It's that beautiful woman, Blanche. Okay, Joe, before we went into the break, now, remember we talked before the show, we had 1 hour. 1 hour. Joe.
Yes?
1 hour.
Hey, it's not my fault we should keep talking all night long.
I know, but we can't. We got to move on. So, we got to talk politics. Do you want to stick around for politics?
Yeah, why not? I'll sit here.
All right. Recently, Anonymous, who is a hacker group, and if anybody else would like to chime in on this subject, you can give us a call, 866-225-5401, 512-539-0357, or tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA and hashtag it Armed Radio. The hacker group, Anonymous, apparently hacked into the Ku Klux Klan database and retrieved names of members of the Ku Klux Klan that are in prominent positions not only in our government, but in positions of law enforcement and city council, city management positions. Now, I have been doing diligence. Of course, as soon as that happens, the propagandists come out and they say, well, it's all these Republicans. And John Cornyn, who is one of our state senators, is supposedly on this list. Well, here's the problem. I can't find the list anywhere. And I keep asking for it. And on the Anonymous Twitter page, it says, okay, we're gonna give up the list. We're gonna out the list. The list is gonna be this. We're leaking it bits and pieces. I haven't found the list yet. Have you guys heard about this?
Well, yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
There's been some speculation and some members of Anonymous. It's Anonymous was kind of like
of course, they won't come on the show.
Well, I mean, they're
anonymous.
Yeah, good luck getting anybody to get their actual voice out here. There's members of Anonymous that are saying that, like, the list didn't come from Anonymous, like actual Anonymous. According to...
It came from an anonymous?
It came from an anonymous individual.
A third-level anonymous
individuals that claim to be anonymous, but like the actual anonymous group is saying that it wasn't them.
Well, of course, if you go to what's been published and what's all over Facebook, the left-wing propagandists, of course, are outing right-wing Republicans. The right-wing propagandists are outing left-wing Republicans. Everybody's outing everybody, but I have yet anywhere, because this is the information age, I can't find the list anywhere.
Yeah, I just keep finding
Mike,
articles about
I wouldn't feel bad about that. It took Gowdy a long time to find Hillary's email, but eventually it happened. So, just continue doing your due diligence, and it'll happen.
I want to know if it's true, if John Cornyn's part of the KKK. I don't believe that's true, but, I mean, I've been wrong before. God dang, what is that, a truck? Are you at a truck stop, Blanche?
No. as if. I'm in the back of a town car with my trusted advisor, Big T. We're on our way back from a function with all the beautiful people.
Ah, okay.
But I decided to stop in and make an exception in your case and have a discussion.
Ah, okay. So you're sitting in the back of a Lincoln Town car with your hair all did and your nails all did?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't understand is the Ku Klux Klan, because I can't say those three words together very well. Is it clue? I can't say it. Ku Klux Klan. And I grew up in the South. I should be able to say that, but I can't. But what I don't understand is why this whole outing thing. I thought it was great to come out of the closet. I thought that was a big thing. We did big celebrations, and Obama sent you love letters when you came out. So what's the big deal if you're being outed? You know, everybody's coming out these days.
Well, that's true. Well, I think it's a little different coming out as a Ku Klux Klan member than it being gay, though.
Oh, right. I'm sure it is. I don't know. I think it's kind of a boring subject, frankly. I don't know why they didn't. I think it's a boring subject to me. I think it's the Confederate flag part 2.
Alex, you have something?
Well, apparently the list hasn't been posted yet. It's not being posted till tomorrow, Guy Fawkes Day. Remember, November 5th?
Yeah.
So it hasn't been put. It's Op KKK.
So yeah, that's what I'm following on TweetDeck is Op KKK, and
it hasn't been posted yet. That's why you haven't been able to find the list.
Well, then where are all these
speculations? Probably
speculations. So it's just the propagandist again at work.
They're leaks. I think they're called leaks. They're leaking stuff. You leak a little bit, a little bit of that. It's to whet your appetite and to build buzz, and they're wagging the dog.
Pretty much.
Everything that I'm finding right now, I'm trying to find out what's going on with it right now, because this is the first, last few days, the first I'm hearing about it. Because I don't think that the KKK is relevant anymore, but
I think you're entirely correct about that. That's why to me it's very boring.
They're like Southern neo-Nazis. They're just like, oh, all right, those guys are assholes.
Yeah, they go out on big camping trips and where they don't bother anybody.
You know, it's like the guy that has a Superman shrine in his closet. You go, well, you make a nice burger on Saturday afternoons, but you're kind of an idiot otherwise. Oh, well, I'll have another burger. I mean, that's what it's like. It's just kind of boring. Not effective. Totally not relevant. And so this seems like a much ado about nothing. Now, I'm not taking away from the KKK's horrid, heinous, ridiculous, wicked history at all. But I'm saying today it seems like a completely different subject.
I'd have to agree with you.
Well, sugar great minds think like me. Thank you. Listen, now, are we going to talk about anything else? Because Big T and I have gotten home, and we probably need to say our goodnight to each other. And then Billy's close going to his own home.
Big T doesn't want to get on and offer an opinion?
Big T is a strong, silent type. Which works out perfectly for me. I do want to say this about, I know that, Mike, that you're celebrating your holiday. The beard, what is it? No shave November?
No, that's just, I'm not celebrating any month. It's November is amateur beard month.
Well, somebody asked me how I felt about beards. All I know is that the last man that I dated, his beard looked like the bottom of a chicken bucket. And
that's because that man didn't have proper grooming techniques.
Well, I don't know about that.
That man did not know how to take care of his man face. He did not know how to properly care for his face carpet.
Well, the point of No Shave November is to raise awareness for prostate cancer, And the money that you would usually spend on shaving cream and razors, because they're heinously expensive, is money that you would donate to whatever charity that helps with, testicular cancer or prostate cancers.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good cause.
Yeah.
That's an excellent cause.
But for those of us who
cancer is very distressing.
But for those of us who year-round, are men, we just kind of we look at we look at this month as kind of with the.
You need to get it right. Magnolia Beauregard. I'll be launching my Facebook page very soon. Apparently, I'm going to have to get digital.
Got to get digital.
Big T, stop it. No, Big T, you stop that.
Oh,
Sorry.
Big T's
he's getting freaky over
Big
there.
T's getting a little handsy back there.
Yeah.
He's trying. He's trying to
digital on me.
He's trying to sneak up on your petticoat there, Miss Blanche.
Oh.
He's about ready to give
you stay online for this.
He's about ready to give you the vapors.
He has given me the vapors more than once. I just might add. And that is not a euphemism for anything other than vapors.
Yeah, I know it is. Exactly.
Anyway.
How can people read your... No, you got a blog. You got a blog, right?
No. I'm launching and apparently I'm going to have to... I write a widely read society column.
Mm-hmm. And where can people read that column?
For one of the oldest publications in the South, and they're making me get into this century. Finally, I held out as long as I could. I think 15 years is pretty good, and now I'm going to have to actually buckle down and be digital and whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. I'm going to have to be. They said, Blanche, you've got to get on social media. I'm like, I'm a social butterfly. I'm a society editor. I'm already doing social, and the media loves me. What are you talking about? So I'll let you know when all that happens. It's
absolutely.
Boring.
Well, and you're welcome to come on the show and launch that project, and we'll be glad to help you.
Well, Mike, that's so sweet of you, but, whenever I'm there, you're always sniffing around. You love my perfume. You're rubbing my arm. I mean, it's not appropriate.
Well,
you need to be in a man cave along with men.
Well, but you're so soft and you smell good.
I gotta go.
Are you flirting again?
Hey, Joe, stop being. Hey, Joe, stop being a cockblock, man. Just relax. A man's talking there.
You are in the presence of a lady. Would you talk like that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ms. Blanche. I'm sorry, Ms. Blanche.
I can tell you right now that kind of talk comes from wearing a beard. I know that's exactly why you're talking like that. You think you can walk around with a hair face all day long and then talk like that? It's a slippery slope, and I gotta go.
Hey, she might stop you.
I'm coming, Big T. I'm coming.
All right. Say hi to Big T. Blanche Beauregard on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more. Joining me in the man cave with a pretty impressive face carpet of his own. The fruit of my loins. Alex. Player to be named later. And Joe Pardini, stick around on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the home of the anti-media, Armed Radio Global. And you are on the air.
Are you a gamer? A girl gamer at that? If you're looking for the best hangout point to discuss games, then the right place for you is joystickgirls.com. Meet new gamers, discuss topics, and share hints and tips. Now looking for new members. So sign up today at the new site that keeps getting better and better, joystickgirls.com.
Hey there, all you creepy people. This is Kevin Wayne from Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
This is Nima. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns, baby.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauce is not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts that you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, for Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Now, let's join the show to see what the boys are talking about tonight.
So, see, you don't even let me... You know what, Jimmy? You know what, Jimmy?
What's that? It's a
tonight, I am canceling... Right now, I am done with Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. I am ending my show tonight, thanks to Jimmy. I no longer want to do it because I've had enough of arguing with him. So, good night.
That's kind of awkward. Well, I guess we got 24 hours of music. Yeah, stay tuned. Home Radio Global, home of the big guns. Boom. Hi, welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by E24.com. E24. Put the free app in your iPhone or Android phone off of Google Play or iTunes. Put it in the zip code of where you're at to find a restaurant where you're at, and they'll have food delivered to you. Let's say you're on a business trip. You're sitting in this middle of a big conference hall, bored out of your goddamn mind, looking at the clock, waiting for 11:30 to roll around. That's when they break for lunch. They're going to give you 45 minutes. Well, everybody else is going to spend most of that time running around looking for food. Well, as they run out to find some place to eat, your food is running in. You can spend the entire time enjoying your food in relative comfort. Eat24.com. It's like having a food truck in your pants. Joining me live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Joe Pardini is going to stick around. Also here in the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave. I'm going to get it out completely one time. Hopefully when I'm sober. Alex, the player to be named later, and we were just having a good conversation offline about conservatism, liberalism, Republicans, Democrats, and Libertarians. Now, I do not have a label personally. But if my belief system were lined up with some label, it would be closer to libertarianism than Republican or Democrat. Now, there's conservative and there's liberal. Liberals want to help everybody. They want to make sure no one gets their feeling hurt. They want everybody to accept everybody and big hugs and kisses. And the conservative side is a little more harsh than that. You are an individual. You are an individual. You make your decisions. You fall or rise based on what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you got nobody to blame but yourself. It's either good or bad. And then somewhere in the middle are the moderates.
That's now.
And Mike, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Joe.
Is your phones working?
Yeah, they're working.
Because West Coast Dan, he's been saying that he's trying to get in, but the phones ain't working out.
Have him call the 512-539-0357.
Because he would be a good person for this, because he's he follows this.
Okay, 512-539-0357. Yeah, have him call that one.
I mean, my theory is I like what Donald Trump is saying. So,
what exactly? What points of Donald Trump?
He's telling the world what the truth is. He's not lying. He's not throwing the crap and not hiding anything.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What is he saying? Because we had a very honest politician, or statesman rather, in politics for 30-plus years, Ron Paul, and he was telling it how it is and the truth, and nobody gave him an ear. So what exactly is Donald Trump saying that separates him from politicians like Ron Paul and others, or Gary Johnson?
I wanted Ron Paul in 4 years ago. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted him in over Obama. And Donald Trump is just something he's just telling everything, and he's just not holding back on what he's saying. He's being like the badass.
Well, I do agree. And if anybody else would like to chime in on this, I guess the 866 number is not working. So 512-539-0357 or tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA. The thing I like about Trump isn't necessarily that what he's saying is true, because there's been many cases that he's been called out on where he's been kind of embellishing things.
He chases his own tail.
But here's what I like about Donald Trump. He is throwing a monkey wrench in everybody's chili, and I love it. I love it. I love how people are just going out of their minds. He is a gold mine for people in my business, because it's absolute. Every time he opens his mouth, and then he gets caught doing something. I mean, his hats, America Great Again, and all that stuff, all made in China, and he gets called out on Jimmy Kimmel. And he's like, so what? You know, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. But here's what I like about Trump and Bernie Sanders. The only redeeming value that I have in these two candidates is Donald Trump is paying his own way. He has taken no contributions from anybody. He's paying all of it out of his pocket. As a matter of fact, any contributions that he gets in, he donates to veterans. And Bernie Sanders, who's taking no money from anything higher than $500. So all his money is being raised by individual people. So he can't be bought. So that's the only two things, the redeeming values of those two. Other than that, everything else is in the purview of the propagandists, in my opinion.
To me, we talked about this off here, and I said I don't follow this stuff because it's not my gig. But Donald Trump is selling. He told it how it is. If you watch an old video of him, he did an interview with Oprah, and he told them what the world's going to be like. And this was a young Donald Trump. And she asked him, would you ever run for president? And he didn't say nothing. I think it's on YouTube somewhere if you look it up.
Yeah, no, he said something. Do you know what he said?
What?
He said, yeah. He said no, because he couldn't take the pay cut.
Yeah, because it's an old video. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, I just think he wants to put up gates at the border. Don't want the foreign people coming over. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. I like everybody. I don't care if it's white, black, Puerto Rican, China, space people, whatever. Even Zach from the whatever children he was. I get along with everybody. You know what I mean? But if you're not going to come in, it's like, for example, if Mike is paying his taxes and he wants to open what would you want to open, Mike?
Probably a pizza joint.
Mike wants to open a pizza joint. And Mike goes to the people will say, hey, can I open this pizza joint? This is what I got. They say, well, no. So then the next person, and I'm not going racial or anything, the next person comes in, and he's from another country, and he wants the same thing. They give him that tax-free for 6 years. You know what I mean? You think it's fair? I think it's not, because everyone should be treated equal. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, okay, Mike asked for a pizza joint. He got turned down, but another person from another country comes over.
Got it. Got the joint. You had something to say, Alex?
No, he can keep going.
Okay. I heard you sigh over there.
No, I was just going to say that our border with Mexico is over. Not over. It's close to 2,000 miles long.
That's just Texas.
No.
Most of it.
Yeah, right. No,
three-quarters of it.
Almost half of it is Texas, but that's a lot of money, which we could probably afford to, build a wall or whatever they want to do. Bullshit. If we weren't spending so much on other bullshit. But that's 2,000 miles, and the upkeep on that it's ridiculous.
Plus, most of the workers probably would be illegal.
Yeah. I read that most of the illegals that are here outside of their expired work visas. So they get their work visas. They come over here. The work visas expire because they don't get a job that they can prove that they have a job. They just screw it. What are they going to do? And, they go off and work and they do manual labor. So most of them are here. Most of the illegals that are here on expired work visas. So they started coming over here legally, and now they're here illegally with expired visas. And then so it's not a border problem. The border problem is, I believe, is drugs, which wouldn't be as big as a problem if our government wasn't working with certain cartels to work against other cartels, and it's a huge, ridiculous mess. But building a wall, a Great Wall of America, isn't going to solve an actual problem. It's going to be one of those kind of like smoke and mirrors. Hey, look, this is what we did. This is what we're going to do. But it's not actually solving.
It's not going to actually stop anybody.
Problem.
Yeah, it's not going to stop anybody from coming over.
They'll find another way in.
Yeah. Well, hey, this just in from the Washington Free Beacon. I have no idea if this is an actual media site or right-wing site.
Washington Free Beacon?
Yeah.
Is he sure it's not Washington Free Bacon? Because that
Free Bacon? I could go for a Washington Free Bacon right now. That'd be awesome. Gun sales set record for 6 months in a row. The Federal Bureau of Investigation processed a record number of background checks in the month of October, indicating that gun sales were at an all-time high for the 6th month in a row. The FBI's National Instant Background Check System processed 1,976,759 firearms-related checks in October. 1 month.
Nice.
That's a 373,290 increase in checks over the last year, and the new record for a month. It also makes October the 6th consecutive months of a record number of checks. So my question is, if the gun-related deaths per year are around 10,000, last year was 11,000 something, which is less than 2% of the 380 million people that live here. What's driving these gun sales?
Politics. Gun scares. After Sandy Hook had happened and they were talking about banning assault rifles, a friend of mine sold his $700 AK-47 for $1,300. Yeah, it was a $600 profit. He sold ammo, this and that, in private sales.
Mm-hmm. With no background check.
Hey, So, in October, beginning of October, I believe we had a mass shooting, correct? I don't remember the exact date.
Actually, the last one we just had was a couple of days ago where an open carry. A guy walking around like he was open carry and then open fire.
Oh, yeah. They, called the cops.
Which is why I'm against open carry.
This guy is pointing guns at people, and then he called again. He's like, yeah, that guy that I just called you about just shot somebody. So, no, but the most recent big one, I think, is in Oregon. Yeah, in Oregon. Anytime that we have a national news coverage over, a tragedy, like a mass shooting, gun sales are skyrocketing because people are trying to get their hands on their guns so they can stockpile them away before the government comes in and says, all right, you know what? Let's call a spade a spade. Going to get rid of all these guns. And these people are like, well, yeah, these are the guns that I have. I just gave you all the guns I have, not knowing that, they just have 3 AKs stored in their attic.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Matt Hazley from Straight Talk with Matt Hazley just tweeted me, Sandy Hook never happened. It's a hoax.
What?
I'm not going to say that it didn't happen, but there was an individual who was wearing camo BDU bottoms and a black hoodie who was found in the forest. He was arrested, and they're asking him, what are you doing here? And he wouldn't answer them. He just kept, from what I read and from what I heard, if I remember, Sandy Hook was 2012. So this might not be accurate anymore, but I implore you to go and find out by yourself. But he was saying just kept asking for a lawyer or somebody else until that person showed up, got him out of handcuffs, and took him away. So it is kind of strange. Who was that guy? Why was he wearing camo BDUs, hiding in the forest when it was all happening, when the shooting was happening? So. Or Adam Lanza was a douche that killed his mom, took his mom's guns, and went and shot up a school. Fine.
A gun-free zone.
To obtain those guns, he committed a crime, and he illegally obtained them and went to a school which proves that background. Yeah, that proves that background checks don't really do anything. And if we're going to talk about background checks, what I said earlier, and recently in Obama's first term, a gun transaction between the United States government and drug cartels in Mexico, the Operation Fast and Furious was going on, and nobody was indicted. Eric Holder was involved. Obama knew about it. A U.S. Border Patrol agents died for that Operation Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, well, they call it treason by definition, but and nobody was indicted. Nobody was held accountable for it. And we have these leftists calling for background checks and we need to do more. We need to do more. Get guns off the streets. How are we going to get guns off the streets when we have our own United States government giving guns to drug cartels that make their ways back into the American streets in southern states, being used in territorial gunfights, pushing coke and meth and marijuana. And, marijuana's, if they just legalized it, the drug cartels would lose their money from that.
Yeah. I totally agree with it.
Vastly. It would take a huge hit on drug cartels regarding marijuana. But, cocaine and meth, that's their deal.
Radio Global, Central Texas Man Cave. I'm going to get it out
That's what happens when you drink vodka instead of whiskey.
Shut up. Right back.
Are you a gamer? A girl gamer at that? If you're looking for the best hangout point to discuss games, then the right place for you is joystickgirls.com. Meet new gamers, discuss topics, and share hints and tips. Now looking for new members. So sign up today at the new site that keeps getting better and better, joystickgirls.com.
Hey there, all you creepy people. This is Kevin Wayne from Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
This is Nima. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns, baby.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauce is not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts that you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, for Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Now, let's join the show to see what the boys are talking about tonight.
So, see, you don't even let me... You know what, Jimmy? You know what, Jimmy?
What's that? It's a
tonight, I am canceling... Right now, I am done with Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. I am ending my show tonight, thanks to Jimmy. I no longer want to do it because I've had enough of arguing with him. So, good night.
That's kind of awkward. Well, I guess we got 24 hours of music. Yeah, stay tuned. Home Radio Global, home of the big guns. Boom. I fucking love that commercial, man. Matt, I love you too, Matt. Look, oh my God. I'm laughing too hard. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to On the Air with Mike Allen on the Armed Radio Global Network. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by E24.com. It's like having a food truck in your pants. And HotSauceVault.com. You can get every sort of hot sauce available to man on HotSauceVault.com. Plus a bunch of great gag gifts and some other stuff that you can send. Christmas is coming up, folks. Go to HotSauceVault.com. Welcome back in the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave. See, I got it out, even though I'm drinking vodka.
There you go.
I'm drinking vodka.
Go get Nikolai.
It's good.
Let's spell to go get us
More vodka and wood for the fire. Is Alex, player to be named later. And on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Crazy Joe Pardini. Has your buddy been able to call in? What's going on, Joe?
I can't find him. He must have went on to another show. He gets all over the place.
Oh, it's like that. It's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to get him, yell at him next week when he comes on again. You know what I mean? But get back to that situation. You're talking about shooting in Oregon. Did you guys hear about the shooting in Pennsylvania?
Now, what's that?
The one guy shot the two state police guys.
Oh, that was a while back, right? He ran up to Canada.
Yeah, he ran to Canada.
Yeah,
they caught him.
So it was.
Yeah, they caught him.
It took him like almost a month.
Well, he was a survivalist.
Yeah, no, it was more than a month. It was a couple of months. He was up there for a while.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, we have him here, and he knew what he was doing. And we never find out what happened. Why did he shoot the two state police guys?
Well,
because he didn't want to go to jail.
No, well, why did he shoot him?
He ran up on him, didn't he?
Did he?
No, he shot him from a far distance, wasn't it?
Oh, he sniped him. Sniped him.
Yes.
Some guys just, some people just twisted and don't value life or respect life or the life of others, and they just...
Well, here's the thing.
They're just assholes.
And, every time something like this happens, and I've been kicked off more anti-gun sites and pages off Facebook because I asked this simple question. Give me a common-sense gun law which would have prevented that specific shooting. When I say that specific shooting, it could be any shooting. But what usually happens is they'll come out like after Sandy Hook, after the Oregon shooting, the Colorado shooting, and everybody says, we need to do something. They've even got a hashtag, not one more, all this stuff. We need to have stricter gun laws. And then you ask them, okay, give me a law which would have prevented that specific shooting. And nobody can give me a law which would have prevented that specific shooting. They said it'll make it harder. Well, it'll make it harder. Here's the thing. You can have background checks. You can force people to have psychological profiles done on them. But here's the problem with the psychological profiles is they are up to the interpretation of who's giving the profile. And if you have somebody who's vehemently anti-gun, he will fail people based on arbitrary questions, and that goes against the Second Amendment, which says that our right to bear arms will not be infringed. The one thing that background checks cannot check is the future. So if somebody is a law-abiding citizen, has no previous psychological problems that have been diagnosed, has no record at all, and then they go into a shooting school and shoot somebody, up until the point they walked across that threshold and pulled the trigger, they broke no laws. There's no background check that could find those people. None.
This isn't the Minority Report.
Yeah, exactly. Background checks only tell you what people have done, not what they're going to do.
Or what they're
planning to do or could do in the future.
Mike, I just sent you something.
What's that?
It's something. This would be something for Heather. Her little Twilight thing.
Heather's not here, though.
Well, this would be her thing because it says that infatuation is like a Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Some kid was killed.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't. I'm not good at reading these stuff. You would have to read it, but I sent it to you and on the Facebook.
Okay.
I'll message it to you.
Well, hey, let's move on. I got another article here that I've come across from CNBC. Should you have sex with robots?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to say this as a joke. My buddy, the guy who was just on last week, thinks the future is going to be sex with robots.
I like the Demolition Man method where they put the little things on your head and you just and
then you use
awkwardly in a room and then it sends electromagnetic pulses to your fun boxes and that would be an experience,
It's your cave of wonders.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a cave of wonders. I have a wand of wonders.
You have the sword of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here it says.
I wouldn't call it. It's more of a dagger. I wouldn't call it a sword. I mean, this would be
from CNBC, written by Arjan Karpal, who sounds like a geek. Anyway, should we have sex with robots? It's a question that has sparked fierce debate among moralists in the robotic industry, and as it turns out, they're all split on what role machines should play in the future relationships. During a discussion at the Web Summit Technology Conference in Dublin on Wednesday, in Dublin, Ireland, which means they're all drunk, Experts warned about the dangers of getting intimate with robots. If something we should be very concerned about because people feel that they can have an intimate relationship with a machine that's saying something serious about how we're experiencing empathy with each other. Kathleen Richardson, of course, would be a chick, senior research fellow on ethics of robotics in UK's De Montfort University, said during the panel. Of course, the women would be against it because as soon as men could get a robot that A, doesn't talk back, never has a headache, doesn't give you a shit about every little thing that you do, and we can still get a nut.
Oh my god.
I'm kind of getting excited about this.
Here, Alex, here's your new mom. RoboWife 9000.
Don't leave the batteries in too long because corrosion will set in.
Boy,
I wouldn't trust her. I'd put a bullet right through that little robotic skull.
Hey, yeah,
There's a movie that came in the 80s about. You warned me about this.
Oh my god!
What happens when they
Mike,
become self-aware?
You remember the one movie about the robot? The kid put the girls. She died, and he put the girl into the robot. She started killing people.
No,
Terminator.
It was a movie. It was, I think, Best Friend or something. The kid.
No,
I don't remember that one.
I do remember the show, the movie.
No, it was a movie. It was a movie.
I don't remember that one, but Harrison Ford was in that futuristic movie.
Running Man?
No,
Running
Man.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner,
Yeah.
which is like a freaking awesome movie. But there was a sex robot that was that went nuts. Blade Runner is awesome, man, for like 1984, 83, 84. It was an intense movie, man. I was in high school when that came out. I remember going to see that, and I was like in awe.
So they're saying that sex robots are going to demoralize our empathy.
Yeah, pretty much the women are against it because they see, you know.
I'm sure
we talk about the.
I'm sure there's men that are against it too. I mean, if we look at what how porn damages both genders, both male and female, like how it can damage
hard drives with all the viruses that you download when you look at it. So I've read.
I could kind of see where they're. I haven't looked into it. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, really. But it's
just something I came up on the Drudge Report.
From the headline that you just mentioned now, I can see how that could be a concern, especially with just technology in general. Like with our ability to talk shit to each other over online, like our empathy for just kind of respect for each other has greatly declined. And I can see where they're associating that, or what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, well, sure, associating that with how that would affect humans if we were able to have a robot that we can plug into the wall and
Matt says
bang it out.
Robot sex would require background checks. Well, here the woman's against it, of course. Nell Watson says, we talk about the biggest killers in our society being things like heart disease. I actually wondered if the greatest killers of our age is loneliness. Now machines can be a conduit towards not being so alone, towards getting some sort of emotional response, even if it's from a machine. So she kind of gets it.
Yeah,
she kind of gets it.
It's, like I said, technology, our ability to kind of enclose ourselves in our phones and not, have small talk. Like me personally, I hate small talk. Like I'd rather look at my phone and read an article or read some of my some books off a Kindle than sit at a bus stop and start a conversation with somebody. So I mean, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say that I'm not one to kind of just enclose myself in my technology to avoid, hey, nice weather we're having, right? Because, if somebody says that to me, I just kind of give them, a fuck off kind of look, like, I don't want to talk to you. So yeah, loneliness. People like kind of it's easier to enclose yourself into technology, or kind of just recede and turn into a social hermit, than it is to deal with going out there and talk to people and have like a stimulating conversation, or attempt to have a stimulating conversation and be shut down.
That's what I'm running into.
Well,
plus I'm 49 years old and creepy. But hey, you know what?
Hey,
there's somebody out there
and a total misogynist
and a total misogynist cis male who just
check her privilege today. Checked mine. Still a shitlord.
Still a shitlord.
Don't judge me. Food.
You know what I can say about that?
Will your mouth still remember the taste of these nuts?
We'll disable that soundboard.
No! This is
that.
This
How would
is
you
awesome.
like to suck my balls?
What did you say?
What do you have?
I'm sorry. Actually,
Hey,
what
Mike,
I
what
said
are you
was,
doing? You playing?
how would you like to suck my balls?
Yeah, I know. He likes them toys.
Yeah.
He likes his toys.
I like my toys, man.
Son to father. Is there something you have to? I mean, want to talk about? I mean, we could turn the mics off. I mean, there's a lot of nuts.
Christ almighty, it's like I'm sitting here playing cards with my brother's kids or something. You nerve-wracking sons of bitches.
I don't know. This is kind of a cool little thing. I just got this
Okay.
little soundboard thing here.
Hello, Mike. We got to be sensible here.
All right, let's talk about the Republican debate and their 10 heinous.
And we will do that.
ridiculous-
And we will do. Let's take an early break, and we'll come back and do that.
Son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch! Got to pay the bills. Damn you, capitalism! Oh my God! We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, your home for the anti-media. We'll be back after these messages.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401. Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Brain feeling a bit fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hazley.
It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern.
It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com.
Plus live video on Ustream.tv.
From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail in the World War II armor, or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast and pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern.
your skin
and boy,
never
these
will.
two like to
Olay,
eat. Right, boys?
ageless.
Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey everybody, this is Jimmy.
And this is Paul.
We are hosting a new show called Pod Talk, politically offensive talk.
It's going to be about politics, religion, the presidential race, current events.
We're going to have some guests that come on, hopefully Donald Trump himself. Wishful thinking.
No, we're going to have Hillary on.
But that would be nice. I'd love to get a hold of Hillary.
I don't hate fucking that.
So come and join us on Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, right after Night Talk with Joe Rocks.
All right, welcome back to the show. I'm Mike Allen on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Crazy Joe Pardini, and in the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave, Alex, the player to be named later. We've been looking for the list of demands that the Republicans have placed upon the media in order to have their debates, and I have found a list courtesy of MotherJones.com, a far-left liberal website. So I'm not sure how accurate these are, but let's go through them. There will be no gotcha questions about math.
Oh, yeah, Ben Carson.
All graphics that appear beside the candidates must be approved by the campaign. There will be a 10-minute break halfway through the debate. Number 4, each candidate will be allowed a phone to each candidate will be allowed to phone a friend for one question.
All right, I don't think these are real.
I don't think these are. All 14 candidates will be allowed on the main stage at the end of each 15-minute period. Candidates will vote one participant out of the debate. The final round, the 7 remaining candidates will get to ask the moderators questions. Yeah, I don't think these are accurate. No non-English speaking networks will be allowed to participate.
I think that was Donald Trump's request.
That was Donald Trump's request. Each podium will include the candidate's website address in a minimum of 3-inch type. Male moderators must wear red ties. Number 9, each campaign will be allowed to veto a maximum of 2 moderators each. 10, Fox News will be exempt from all these rules. Number 11, candidates can steal a question from another candidate once per debate. And Frank Lutz's dial responses will be run across the screen. I have no idea what that is. Those is from Mother Jones, and I don't think those are the actual demands.
One of them I heard was the room must not be greater than 67 degrees, because I guess in the last debate it was scorching hot for them. It's probably because they're all full of shit and they're sweating their balls off because they don't know what they're talking about.
Plus they're on a stage with a bunch of stage lights, and I will tell you right now that the stage is very hot under the lights.
Well, I mean, if you're sweating and stuff like that, why don't you just take your seat? I mean, why don't you get comfortable? I mean, if I was up there debating, I'd probably take off my
shorts, flip-flops.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear flip-flops. I wouldn't wear shorts either, but you're wearing a jacket. Just take your jacket off. Roll your sleeves up. Get down and dirty, Look like you're getting into business. Don't be a bitch about it.
Well, we got Megyn Kelly, who's from Fox News, if you know about Fox News, and let's listen in here. She had a little bit to say about all these demands, which we've yet to find. Are you still looking for them?
I can't find them.
I can't. They're like the list from Anonymous. But let's listen to Megyn Kelly and an exchange she had on Fox News recently with the GOP political chairman about the candidates' demands on their debates.
GOP field and the debates.
Look, I know it's sort of a contrary view, but what's happening with the GOP field and the debates is what happens every cycle. When you start out, you have a lot of people running for president, and their interests are the same, which is not to get blown out before they get started. as they go forward and their polling numbers diverge and their interests diverge, so do their desires as it relates to debates. And there was a brief moment where everybody thought, well, this time the Republicans are going to unite and be good to each other and take care of one another as they go into this polling process. Well, that was never going to happen.
So now
What
they're
is gonna
banding together to try to get the networks to make sure, you tell the audience, Chris, how hot do they want it in the debate hall?
67 degrees.
That needs to be in a contract. They can't have, they want all the candidates to receive similarly substantive questions. No so-called lightning rounds of questioning. Approval of any on-screen graphics aired during the debate. Oh, yeah, that's going to happen. The network should commit that they will not ask hand-raising questions, yes or no questions, allow candidate-to-candidate questions, and then maybe like a foot massage or like a little, I mean...
No brown M&Ms.
Really?
No brown M&Ms. Get all the brown M&Ms out of the bowl. Look, this is a negotiating position that the candidates were thinking about engaging in. And then as they got closer to the process of actually submitting the letter, candidates start peeling off because they have different interests. If
Trump's
you're Donald
out.
Trump...
Fiorina
Right.
never took part. She was like, I'll debate anybody anywhere, and I don't care how cold it is, and I don't care what my
Exactly.
green room looks like. Christie said, just give me a podium and let us go. I mean, so
Exactly.
they're bailing. Even the divided field is getting more divided.
They have divergent interests. And this is why we do what we do. We do good debates. We hope candidates come. We hope they... and that the...
We help candidates come, obviously without the help of robots. But anyway, that was just a little exchange. I know. I mean, this.
Oh man! All right.
This is becoming more and more. I mean, if people cannot see through the whole propagandist angle that all of this is taking. I mean, it doesn't. And if people bring it up, we're labeled as conspiracy theorists. Well, you know, water's wet, the sky's blue, and the sun comes up in the morning. I mean, there it is. There it is, right there.
Call a spade, man.
Call a spade, and
Is that right? Okay, so these were their demands, right?
Did you find them?
No, I didn't find.
I haven't found a list either. They showed them. They showed them on Fox News, but I haven't found them.
Well, that's Fox.
I mean, they
And it
showed
sound-
a graphic of pictures. Go ahead.
All their little demands, you know, they're trying to. It sounds like they're trying to control the media, and they're being very intolerant, very authoritarian on how they're trying to set the stage, obviously, for their own debates. They're trying to make it easier for them to get their agenda, to push their agenda. They don't want hard-hitting questions. They don't want questions that are going to make them think or be thought-provoking. They don't want to be called out on, you know, if they said one thing in 2004 and now they're saying something in 2008. Like, it's totalitarianism. That's this by this own.
I found it.
You found
Go
it?
ahead. Yeah.
By them having these demands, these little childish demands. Now, to be fair, the media and these debates, you know, Ted Cruz, I do not like the guy, but he did make a good point the last debate. He didn't say anything new. He was just the first one to say it recently. But they haven't really been, you know, fair. They've been really hard on the Republicans, and they softballed all the questions in the Democratic debates, which have like 4 runners. Like, come on, seriously. So, to be fair, I can understand why they're a little bit frustrated, but this is over the top. You know, like room being 67 degrees, no tough questions, graphics in the background need to be approved. That's like some shit that you would see like in an article about North Korea. Like, this has to be approved, that has to be approved, we have to run this by. It's not like they're throwing like spaghetti monsters. And,
Well, here's the list if you want to hear it. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Ask the candidates to raise their hand to answer a question.
Oh, God.
Ask yes or no questions without time to provide us. You will come. This is what they cannot do. You cannot ask the question. Ask the candidates to raise their hand to answer a question. You cannot ask questions without time to provide a substantive answer. You cannot have a lightning round. You cannot allow candidate-to-candidate questioning. You can't allow props or pledges by the candidates. No reaction shots of members of the audience or moderators during the debates. You cannot show an empty podium after a break and describe how far the bathroom is, because I guess that happened in the last debate. Some people weren't back yet. They're like, oh, they had to go to the bathroom. They were making fun of them, really. You cannot use behind shots of the candidates showing their notes. Cannot leave on microphones. Cannot allow members of the audience to wear political messages on shirts, buttons, or T-shirts or anything. You can't have the audience do that. So, screw you, First Amendment.
Here in Soviet Republican debates.
In the Republic, yes. When are we going to go take care of ISIS for America? That's what I want to know.
My MiG is now running on vodka. We ran out of jet fuel here in the Gulag.
Vodka and bear shit.
Nikolai the Bear is ready to take to skies.
He's ready to go.
Alright, we gotta stop making fun of the Russians. Doing a lot of good.
Like, what are they gonna...
I mean, what are they gonna do? Our job? Wait,
what?
I gotta hand it to. I just recently read that they're gonna do joint operations with the United States and Syria, which is interesting because 2 weeks ago they were just talking shit, saying that they were gonna, we're on the brink of, this is problematic.
You would not believe.
We might go to war with, it could be problematic. Like, why not work with them? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's actually a good idea. It's like, why wasn't that the first inkling, like the first idea? Like, oh, you guys have the same problem? Hey, let's work together.
Let's work together.
You'd
think so.
It's not the year 1978 anymore. This isn't the Cold War. It's 2015. We can do that, right? We can work together. It's not like the universe is going to collapse on each other. It's not like, Stalin is rolling in his fucking grave because the United States and Russia wants to work together.
Because we want to hold hand in hand and say, beat down Nazis. Wait, what?
Yeah. We've already done it once before. Oh, yeah, buck up. Let's do it again.
Hey, Joe, you still here?
Joe's long gone.
Joe's long gone.
No, Joe's here.
Hey, Joe.
Joe's putting up stuff from the newspaper.
Joe's looking up where you can find one of them fancy sex robots.
I tell you
No.
Hey, you know what, Joe? You know what, Joe? I've actually found it, and they're about $5,000, and I'm thinking for an upfront cost, that's not a bad deal.
Hey, you and Mike can
that's
possibly
not a
go
bad
halvesies
deal.
on one.
Hey, no. I don't share my robot, man. I don't share my robot.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you will.
Hey, I'm serious. When you get him on here...
I don't want another man wearing down my silicone. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you get that West Coast dad on again, ask him about...
Sex robots?
Holy cow, we just lost him.
Oh, he ordered one, and it got there
super quick, and he dumped it.
It became self-aware, and it killed him.
Hey, well, check this out. In Raleigh, North Carolina, Superior Court Judge Arnold Odgins Jones II has been charged with trying to bribe an FBI agent with beer and cash to obtain copies of text messages involving members of his family. Jones, the senior resident Superior Court judge in the judicial district that includes Wayne, Lenoir, and Greene counties, is accused of texting the agent on October 10th trying to get copies of text messages exchanged between two numbers. The FBI can only obtain these records with a warrant approved by a federal magistrate judge on suspicion of criminal activity. According to the indictment, the judge told agents the messages were just for him. Oh, God dang it. I hate when you go to these things and they have the...
Yes, I'm going to
they were just for him and involved only family members, and he basically tried to bribe him with beer.
Hey, come on, buddy. Was it South Carolina? Hey, man, I got a 6-pack right in the truck right now. Well, 5-pack because I drank one on the way over here.
You see, in Soviet Russia, we don't bribe no one. We just give them a bottle of vodka, and they disappear to Siberia.
Vodka, yes.
We get them in the truck with vodka, and they go to Siberia, and then we make firewood.
What's really cool about the Russian cosmonauts is when they were training, they would go up in their training and they would have an AK with them in case they came back down and they had to fight a grizzly bear. That was part of their space program. How badass is that?
Yeah, because they didn't land in the ocean like the Americans.
No, they're
did.
like, we'll drop you in woods.
They landed in Siberia somewhere. It's like, yeah, just in case you got to fight off a bear
or a pack of wolves.
They're a pack of wolves that kind of wander up on your space pod.
That's probably why they never made it to the moon. Their shit was way too down with cases
I
of
know.
vodka and Kalashnikovs.
They didn't have enough fuel. It's like,
they got into the atmosphere, didn't make it out. Like, screw it. We got the alcohol, we got the guns.
the
Let's
vodka.
go to Texas.
Let's go to we go have barbecue.
I seriously gotta stop making fun of Russians.
I'm telling you. Putin right now is putting us on a list.
There's probably like a sub somewhere in the Atlantic, just like
laughing at our show right now,
completely lost. Like, what the hell is all this?
What the hell did we pick up?
Screw it! Hit the button.
There's some place called Huto, Texas. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds important.
Yeah, right.
I think they have empty grain silos that they're making into City Hall.
Is that what they're doing here?
I have no idea.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I've been asked so many times to run for city council. I just don't. I'm scared.
You should.
I'm
Those guys are
freaking scared,
old.
man.
Shit.
I'm scared. I don't even want to be a part of it. I really don't.
They probably want to bring back Jim Crow laws or something.
I don't know what they want to do. All right, we'll be back. If you want to call into the show, write these numbers down. Call us after the break. 1-866-225-5401. I'm not sure if that number's working or not. If it is not working, 512-539-0357. Or tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, your home for the anti-media. And you're on the air.
Are you a gamer? A girl gamer at that? If you're looking for the best hangout point to discuss games, then the right place for you is joystickgirls.com. Meet new gamers, discuss topics, and share hints and tips. Now looking for new members. So sign up today at the new site that keeps getting better and better, joystickgirls.com.
Hey there, all you creepy people. This is Kevin Wayne from Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
This is Nima. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns, baby.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauce is not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts that you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401. Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Brain feeling a bit fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail in the World War II armor or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast in pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you'd like to be a part of tonight's conversation, I know you're out there. Don't be scared. Just give us a call, 1-866-225-5401. If that number does not work, 512-539-0357. Tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA, hashtag Armed Radio. Welcome back to the show. Joining me in the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave, Alex, the player to be named later. Or Ivan Koloff.
Ivan Koloff?
The Red Scare. He's a wrestler in WWE. Nice. All right, this just in from Click on Detroit. Hamtramck, Michigan.
You're at that
it's all these Indian names from my home state. First American city to elect a majority Muslim council. Let's listen in.
Hi, I'm Connie Holzer. We're proud to sponsor WDIV.
Oh, what the hell? No, we're not going to listen to this.
Connie Holzer.
I'm Connie Holzer, and I suck cars. Let's see. Is it over?
Last night, voters in Hamtramck made history. They elected the first majority Muslim city council in America.
And our Will Jones is live in Hamtramck tonight. The voting results reflect the newest ethnic makeup of that city, Will.
Ruth and Devin, the election is over, but the campaign signs are still up. These are the faces of city council here in Hamtramck. Hamtramck has been a diverse city for a while now, and council is going to reflect that. Block to Hamtramck in the 1900s. Evidence of the city's Polish roots remain, but over the last few decades, a new wave of immigrants, primarily from the Middle East, South Asia, and Southeastern Europe, has dramatically changed the face and culture of this community. Now the city council is going to reflect that diversity.
Actually, we are very proud and we are very happy for the achievement what we have done yesterday for our city, and this I consider this is a big victory for our diversity, for our new faces.
Voters gave Abu Musa and Anam Mia another term in office. Saad Al-Mismari was elected for the first time. Now 4 of the 6 council members will be of Muslim faith. It's said to be the first majority Muslim city council in Hamtramck and the country.
Let's send a message to not only to Hamtramck but throughout the region that people want their representation in offices.
Although there will be more diversity at the table, they want to make clear the goal of public service stays the same.
My concern is there to get the people, for everybody, equal opportunity and be fair for everybody.
Even with our Muslim, we help everybody, and we're going to represent everybody. We're going to serve everybody, Christian, Jewish, Muslims, everybody.
We were with the candidates for about an hour today, and so many people came up to them and congratulated them. They're very proud of what they have accomplished. We are live in Hamtramck. Will Jones, Local 4.
All right, Will. Last night, voters in
Hamtramck, Michigan is the first city in the United States to have a majority Muslim city council and mayor. And Joe Pardini, Crazy Joe Pardini, joining us live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Welcome back, Joe.
Hey, thank you. I was talking to West Coast Dan, and he's going to try to call the number.
He's going to try to call the number? All right, go ahead, Alex.
Is there any specific reason why this would be
relevant?
Or outside of... I hate using these little new age bullshit terms like propagandists and Islamophobia, but whatever.
Well, wouldn't that be a cause of some concern to the right wing Christian Republican?
You mean that there's somebody else
coming
from overseas?
Yeah, the Shira law will be taking over in Hamtramck, Michigan, and all of a sudden they'll be stoning virgins and.
I don't think they would be doing that because we still have a constitution, regardless of what the city council elects. We still have a constitution, and that every authority in the United States and every citizen of the United States has to, per constitution, respect these rights of individuals. So they can come over here and try to practice their Sharia law, but the reason why we have such things as the Second Amendment is that when anybody tries to impose an authority, a moral authority, such as their religious beliefs, say they're like, well, this chick is banging it out with a bunch of dudes, we're going to take her into the town hall square and stone her. Her friends and herself can be like, well, you know,
come get some.
I have this 12-gauge shotgun that says differently. So I don't understand why this would be. I mean,
well, you don't think this is sending shock waves across? I mean, this isn't sending shock waves because obviously there is a group of folks in the United States that believe that this is a Christian nation.
Ew. I don't have anything against Christianity.
Wrongly
but
thinking that it's a Christian nation. And as a Christian, I even recognize that we are a nation of free, sovereign, individual people. Joining us now on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, West Coast Dan. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you. I was kind of listening to your earlier comments, and I believe now that the courts, in some decision, are starting to ignore the will of the American people.
How so?
Well, look at one example in Oregon. The people voted to keep marriage as heterosexual. They voted down gay marriage, and the courts overturned that decision and said, no, we don't recognize your vote, even though it's the will of the ordinary Oregon taxpayer, and we're going to allow gay marriage in that state.
But do you understand? But you understand, Dan, that the Constitution of the United States dictates the standard for the nation, and that if any state makes a law that contradicts the Constitution, that the Supreme Court, that's their role in the three forms, in the three
judicial, executive.
Yeah, the three.
Yeah.
The judicial is the one that
checks
keeps
and balances.
The checks and balances. The judicial arm of our government is the one that interprets that and makes sure it's within the Constitution. And a state law saying that a marriage can only be recognized between one man and one woman contradicts the Constitution.
Well, in theory, yes, but I think that the Supreme Court is starting to be swayed democratically. It's tilting toward the Democratic Party.
Well, so let me ask you this.
Mostly, it's starting to tilt toward big business.
Well,
and the billionaires.
That I agree with. That I agree with, and that's something that needs to change. But let me ask you a question.
Need to have term limits, but talk about homosexuality.
Let me ask you this, Dan: Are you for or against same-sex marriage?
I don't know. The world still spins. I myself couldn't really care too much. I guess I'm for it. Everyone has their hang-ups, and I'm looking toward the future when men and robots are going to get married.
Hey,
that's my guy. I'm telling you.
I told you that was going to come out.
If you wanted to, in this nation, if you wanted to marry a robot, you are within your rights to marry a robot. That's your business, nobody else's business. Yep. And it doesn't matter if some uber right-wing conservative pickets your front lawn and calls you a sodomite. You still have every right.
Well, here's the deal.
You have every right to sit out there and piss on your front lawn and give them the finger.
Here's what people they mix up this argument and they get it all convoluted. And really, you need to. And this is the same debate that I have with a lot of people about this subject. I'm a Christian. I'm heterosexual. I believe that my penis someday again will reside in a woman's vagina. That's me. That's what I personally believe.
This conversation
and if I weird. And if I and my goal, or not even a goal, but if I were to desire to be with somebody as a couple, then my desire would be to be with somebody of the opposite sex. That's me. But two men or two women that want to spend their lives together, that love each other's company,
or robots,
that make a life together. If they want to be married, or if they want to enjoy the same benefits of being married, like joint custody of property, being able to. Here's the thing that gets me: if there's two men that love each other and they become a couple, and one of them becomes sick, I don't know of any doctor or nurse knowing the situation that would prevent the partner of that person to not be with them, because they are a part of the healing process. You want to be surrounded by people you love. So I think that's just a propaganda type thing where, we're not going to allow, or that's an individual doctor's personal agenda where he's not going to allow a same-sex couple to be together when one of them's sick, because he personally thinks that his Christianity is in question if he allows that to happen. Now, here's the deal. I don't care if two consenting adult human beings want to be together as a couple and want to live a life together and love each other. If they live next door to me, down the street, if they worked with me, I don't care. It's none of my business at all, anywhere. And it's not the government's business to legislate to anyone a certain set of morals when it plainly states in the Constitution that no religion will be respected by the state, meaning that the state will not dictate to the people what religion or set of morals that they should live by.
Well, yes, but Mike, did you hear about that the cake owners out in Oregon? They owned a bakery shop, and this couple came in that were gay, and they wanted a wedding cake, and the people in the bakery shop refused to bake them a cake. And now the state has stepped in and said that you will serve these people, and they were served with a lawsuit, and against their will, they had to make a cake for this gay couple.
Now, that is morally and ethically wrong, because equally as you are able to be with a man, or a woman to be with a woman and get married, a business owner, a private business owner, has every right to serve who they feel comfortable serving, whether it be. Now, personally, I've gotten a lot of shit for it, but I don't believe in anti-discrimination laws. If you're a business owner and you don't like Hispanics or African Americans or gays, you shouldn't be forced to serve those people. Now, that being said, those people have every resource and power in the year 2015 to advocate and protest that business. And if that business fails because of that business owner's bigotry, then so be it. Now, we have these little, like, safeguards, like, oh, well, I'm an asshole and I don't like gays, but because of this law, I have to make a cake for a gay couple, even though I disagree with their lifestyle. If I was gay and I knew that, I wouldn't want to give them my business. I wouldn't want them to
That's exactly
thrive.
what I was going to say.
I'd be like, you know what? No, why would I give you my money, the capital that I earned from my labor? Why would I give that to somebody that could use it to live? No, I would tell you to go, die in a ditch, enjoy your life. You're bigoted.
And I'd go to another bakery.
Go to another bakery. Yeah. Now that couple in Oregon, there was another baker who was gay who would have happily baked that couple a cake, but they didn't go to that guy. They went to this bakery, this specific bakery. And I feel like they used it to make some sort of political scene. And the state shouldn't have made the bakery bake them a cake. They shouldn't have stepped in. You are not violating a person's right by denying them your labor.
Exactly. And here's the point I want to make on this. As a Christian, and I am a Christian, if I owned a bakery shop and a gay couple came in and said, could you make a cake for us, and this is what we wanted, I would tell them yes. Because that's what Christ would do. That's what being a Christian is. You don't judge. You love you love people who disagree with you. You don't argue, and you be Christ-like. And here's the thing. Nothing that I did for that gay couple by baking them a cake would count against me in getting into heaven. None of it would. I would be a businessman with a business transaction. Render under Caesar's what is Caesar's. If a man asks you for your cloak, asks you for your coat, give him your cloak also. If he asks you to go a mile, go 2. Read the Bible. Everybody wants to nitpick the Bible, but when you really read the Bible and understand about it, that bakery, that Christian bakery, was wrong. Now, I don't agree with the government stepping in and hitting them with a lawsuit and all this other crap. Because I'm with you on this, Alex.
Well, if I'm a gay couple involved, the better.
Yeah, if I'm a gay couple and I walk into a bakery and they're like, well, no, we're not going to serve you because you're gay. Why would I want to force them to make something and give them my money? How about I go somewhere else and tell all my friends, don't go to that bakery.
Bakery's assholes. I know
they're assholes.
They got great scones, but...
Can I put my 2 cents in there?
All right, go. Crazy Joe on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, he's making you a cake, right? He don't like you because you're gay. You don't know what he's really going to put in the cake.
Yeah, he could get balls in there. And then you're eating balls and cake.
I mean, yeah. I generally don't try to go someplace where people don't like me to buy stuff. Well, hey, let's take our last break of the night. When we come back, we'll have some more on this subject and any other subject. And you've got 20 freaking minutes to call in, folks. I know you're listening. I can see how many folks are listening. I know you love the show. Come join. Be part of the party. 866-225-5401. If that doesn't work, 512-539-0357. Tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA. Hashtag it Armed Radio. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, your home for the anti-media. And you are on the air.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauce is not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts that you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Hey there, all you creepy people. This is Kevin Wayne from Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
Hey everybody, this is Jimmy.
And this is Paul.
We are hosting a new show called Pod Talk. Politically offensive talk.
It's going to be about politics, religion, the presidential race, current events.
We're going to have some guests that come on, hopefully Donald Trump himself. Wishful thinking.
No, we're going to have Hillary on.
But that would be nice. I'd love to get a hold of Hillary.
I don't hate fucking that.
So come and join us on Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, right after Night Talk with Joe Rocks.
Now, back to some ass-kicking shiznit from Nullsoft Shoutcast.
Welcome back to the show for our last segment of the evening. We lasted 3 hours tonight. Joining me on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, West Coast Dan and Crazy Joe Pardini. In the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave, Alex, the player to be named later. I'm Mike Allen. Welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com. Eat24, download the free app from your iPhone or Google Play. Put it in your phone. Put the zip code in of where you're at. They will find a restaurant near you that will deliver food to you. Eat24.com. Proud sponsors of Armed Radio Global. All right, welcome back to the show. Dan, you've been kind of quiet tonight.
Well, Mike, I'd like to ask you a question. Have you...
Hello?
Yes, we have.
Dan?
Uh-oh, we lost Dan?
I think we lost Dan.
The West Coast has just been hit by nuclear rockets from Russia.
I'm
just kidding, Dan.
From the Russian bear that came over.
The shit that crashed in Oregon.
We were shooting. Oh. We were actually shooting for somewhere in Louisiana.
That is not good.
That's not good. He dropped off. He had a question. I'm hanging.
I know.
Well,
that makes it coming.
Text him and tell him to call back. Text him and tell him to call back. Yours, buddy.
Yeah, I have to get him. I hope he dials the right number.
There he is. There he is. He's coming back.
What?
All right, welcome back to the show, West Coast Dan. What happened, man?
I don't know. I got cut off, Mike, when I answered when I asked a question.
We thought you were hit with the missiles from Russia.
Mike, have you ever toured a maximum security prison like Pelican State in Northern California?
I have not, but I did do time at a county facility as a corrections officer.
Well, okay, here, now, I was kind of serious about this robot marriage. My question is, if you found yourself in a maximum security prison like Pelican State Bay, one of the worst of the worst, and you had a choice of spending time in isolation with a robot or without a robot, and you had to spend time in general population, who would you rather go with? What option?
Isolation with a robot.
There you go, yes. Okay,
Isolation,
well, that's pretty much because you fear for your life, because Pelican holds a lot of
I don't fear for my life, but, you know, if I'm in general pop, you know, the only choice I have is to get somebody to be my bitch and then, you know, run them out for cigarettes and pop myself. And I just don't really, if I had a choice between a man's hairy ass and a robot, I'd take the robot.
Well, there you go. Now, Mike, psychologists have said that if men and women were to be, let's say, child molesters, if they had a choice, like say they went to court, and of course I hope they would pay a huge fine for the kids they molested, their mental health, but if part of their sentence was that they had to live with a robot, I think the psychologists have said that they may be able to save further molestations because these child molesters would have an outlet, like with a robot child and a child image. That's been suggested.
All right.
And wouldn't that be worth it if you could cut down the cases of molestation in the United States? I think that would be worth it.
By giving them child versions or robot versions of children?
Yes.
But what if these pedophiles get off on the fact that these children are now being victimized and that they're innocent and that they're vulnerable? Because there's some sort of sociopathic psychology behind rapists and child molesters, and in cases, I mean, just look at the subway fucker, Jared Vogel. The FBI knew about what he was doing for 4 years. The chick that he was talking to about it had a wiretap, and he was saying that he's been with the little boy, that he was with the child, and that he enjoyed it, and there was like nothing else like it. Like, I don't think having a robot version of a child is going to fix their mental state. Now, I get people are screwed up, and you know, if they have it's a mental disability. But if you victimize somebody, if you take away a child's innocence because they're vulnerable and defenseless, in my opinion, you're up against the wall. You know, there's no. We'll put you in isolation with a child robot so you can have the sick, twisted fantasy on the taxpayer's dollar. Like, no, you're up against the wall and you're buried in a ditch. The same thing goes with
my theory is it makes the person want it more.
Exactly, because at some point it's going to be like, well, this robot is giving me what I want. I want that
real
innocence.
Thing. Yeah, the real thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, anybody that wants to do harm to children in that way should probably be taken out into a field and shot. That's just my opinion. Unfortunately, the Constitution also protects those type of folks
from lynching. Correct.
From lynching.
I would cut it off.
I think the robot thing for a consenting older adult, especially. You know, guys like me, not very much luck on the dating scene. Don't really care about it anymore. You know, still want to have that type thing. It might be something that you could invest your money in, or not. Or it could be something that, you know, there has been cases of people that have actually fallen in love with the robots, and it's become an obsession with them. But hey, here's my thing. If they go to work every day and they're productive and they're not living off society and they go home every night and that's what they want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. That's their business. It's not my business.
Yep. No, that's whatever they as long as they're not victimizing or assaulting somebody.
Yeah, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, none of my business.
Yeah.
To me, it's your business, but if you're going to use that robot to do sick things with a child, or just get a robot to be a children, because at the end, he's going to want a challenge to get the real thing, like Mike said. And that's not solving the problem, it's making it worse.
Yeah, it's generating this sort of curiosity, or it's making it worse. Like, say, they haven't done anything to a child yet, and they just have that fetish, so they get the robot, and then at some point in time, it's like, well, this isn't enough. But I've already had this appropriated where I think that it's okay to do these sort of things to a child, and then they go pick up some kid at a bus stop. Like I don't think that it would be a good idea. I think child molesters and rapists should definitely be put in general pop.
Mike, can I ask you a question now?
What's that?
So you're a cop. Is there a way they could do something about that? Let's say, for example, we'll just say, for example, Joe Schmo. He bought a robot and used it for a kid's gig. Could a cop do anything to him?
If it was a robot?
Yeah, and using it
no,
for like a
because
kid.
there's no harm against another human being. A crime is only committed.
What I'm going,
a crime is only
practicing to make his way up to a child.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as he doesn't touch a human child. There's no violation of the law. I mean, you can. I maybe could make a case on having child pornography. Maybe I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things where, the law isn't real clear on a artificial human. You can't have representations of minor children engaged in sexual acts as possession of child pornography. But
yes, but there's that term "artificial life." That's a hang-up.
Well, no, it's not really a hang-up though. If it's a robot, you're not harming anybody. If it's something if it's not a sentient being, if it's not somebody with rights afforded to them under the Constitution, if it's not a human being, then it has no rights. It's a piece of it's a tool. It's a wrench. It's a hammer. It's nothing.
It's their hand. I mean,
it's
there's
their
no
hand.
difference between them thinking about it and going away at Pamela Henderson and
But
Rosie,
to me, I think
Palmer
it
and her 5 sisters.
It could lead to something else.
Well, of course it could lead to something else, but again, until somebody crosses that line, until somebody actually goes and engages in conduct which violates the law, until that happens, they've committed no crime. And you can't go after somebody because of what you think they might do maybe later. That's not how it works. Does that make sense? I mean, you got a murderer. A murderer isn't a murderer.
I'm not trying to be rude to you because you're a cop, or you used to be a cop. If somebody who's a pedophile, and he's a pedophile, is going to get a robot who's a little kid, he's just worked his way up to the next, to the real
but
thing.
Until he engages in that action with an actual human being child, he has broken no law.
Unfortunately, like we said earlier, laws can't predict the future. And until, like Mike just said, until that individual assaults another individual, they have committed no moral law. Now, it could be taboo, it could be frowned upon, like, man, you're seriously fucked up, you need to get yourself looked at. But until then, now, like he said, he could probably build a case off of child pornography where that would be enough to get him to not live near schools or parks or anything like that.
But even then, it has to be actual children. It can't be a representation of or drawings of.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Japanese porn are of 13 and 14-year-old girls.
What?
And you can view it, but it's a cartoon. It's nobody. It's nothing. It's not a human being that's been harmed. Nobody's rights have been taken away. And that's what you have to understand about if this guy buys a sex doll that he wants to make believe is 9, a 9-year-old girl, and that's how he lives out his fantasies, no human being has been harmed. So there's no crime. There's no crime.
Right, you guys are talking about robot sex and all that juicy sex, or whatever you want to say. But how would you, let's say, for example, Mike, because I'll never get a fucking robot. Sorry about the language, but I'll never get it.
That's late enough. I'd say fuck if you want.
So if Mike got a robot, how would you age that, Mike?
How would you what? How would you age it?
Age a robot?
Would you say, well, I want a 25-year-old robot?
Well, here's the thing. The robots that they're not really robots. They're lifelike sex dolls that they sell now, and you can buy one for between $25,000 and $4,000, are only 4'9" tall. I mean, anatomically, they're, women, but they're only 4'9", 5 foot tall. They're because you got to be able to move them around and carry them and store them and stuff, and hide them from your friends in the attic.
Nobody's
so no one knows.
storing them. They're hiding them.
Or hiding them, or whatever they're doing. I mean, they're not full size 5 foot 7 inch, 8 inch, 11 inch women. They're small. So you can't legislate somebody's imagination. If they want to imagine that this is a 12-year-old girl, you can't legislate that. You can't say you can't think that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm asking you. Let's say you got a robot. What age would you want your robot?
19 to 25 with daddy issues.
Let's go with 27. All right, let's just go with 27. I'll break the 10-year rule with our agreement.
For robot, you break the 10-year-old.
We can go down to 5-year rule. All right.
Alex will be the cop, robot cop, coming to your house.
Yeah,
I'll
have to put a motion sensor on it, so every time that it moves, I know that you're about to do something.
That's
I'll
right.
have to open the door real quick and look at you and go, 27 years old.
No. Well, thanks, Dan. You didn't really chime in too much this week, Dan.
I'm going to say if I had a robot, she would be 17 years old, 364 days, and 11 hours. So at that moment of internal bliss, she'd turn 18.
Can I ask you a question, West Coast Dan?
Where's West Coast? That's West Coast. That's the West Coast thinking out there.
All right, how old are you?
I am a spry 55.
And what would you say that would be, Alex?
That would be, I'm going to go, since I'm the robot sex police, I guess, I'd say 32.
No, I'm talking about what would you think if him going after a 17-year-old and a 55? We just yelled at Mike for doing that, but...
Well, I wouldn't be hurting anyone. She turned legal when we did the act, 18.
18. Yeah. So you'd wait till midnight? You're going to stay up till midnight?
Sure.
Stay up till midnight for every night just to make sure that fantasy remains true for him?
Yes. Hopefully she would be in a schoolgirl outfit.
Now, do these robots have AI? Is that hypothetically speaking, or do they have AI? What do you do if they deny, no, I have a oil leak tonight, whatever, some shit?
Respect her wishes.
So what you're saying is they have an oil leak?
Out of fear that she becomes self-aware,
well, wait a minute.
right? Tries to kill you.
They might have an oil leak.
Happen.
They might have an oil leak once a month.
Yeah, they have to go into maintenance.
Then they
you have to give them plug nuts and motor oil.
Cranky. They freaking bother you all the time with stuff.
That's even more dangerous because they're robots. They don't feel pain, and they're probably going to be crazy ass strong. So they can tear you apart.
Tear
like
you
what?
apart.
And see that slippery slope. Already done.
You gotta give them that. You gotta go out and buy like ice cream, even though they can't eat it, just because
it's just gonna sit there and melt and try to put it in the freezer. Like, no, it's eating that, and just gonna look at them like, what?
They give you the look.
Well, Mike, you'll have to come to West Coast's house to make sure the robot turns 18.
You know what?
Hey, man, that's a West Coast police department problem.
What West Coast Dan does in his house is up to West Coast Dan. Thank you guys for joining. Thanks for joining, Dan. You need to be a part of the show, buddy.
Oh, well, I'll try to call in more. Yes.
Okay. Well, next week, call in. Definitely.
Well, I'd like to address quickly Joe's comments that what the psychologist said about the child robots maybe cutting down on real case of child molestation. Joe, you kind of said that it was kind of like pot being a gateway drug. You did that. You said
I think we all agreed that would be
I think we'll check the tape. I think that was correct. I think
I think all of us all three of us, Joe, Mike, and I agreed that would be the case.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of like how child pornography starts. I guess it appropriates that that kind of thing is appropriate. That like it kind of justifies their feelings by being able to look at things like the Japanese child porn or whatever the fuck they call it. So. Joe's that statement's kind of correct. Like it could be like, oh well, this robot's not enough for me. I want innocence. I want that pure.
But look at Bob Marley. He smoked a lot of pot, but you never heard that led to any cocaine or heroin use. A lot of people smoke pot and they're satisfied with that.
But nobody smokes pot fantasizing about doing meth.
They smoke pot and they fantasize about ripping through a bag of Doritos. That's what
they don't. It doesn't appropriate.
The only people that are in harm's way are pizza delivery guys that can't get there quick enough. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey. All right, so next week, Dan, I'm going to save your name. I'm going to save your number in my thing here. We'll call you. We want you on the show. West Coast Dan, thank you for joining us on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Of course, always Crazy Joe Pardini. He'll be back next week. Also for more football talk and all that good stuff. And Alex, player to be named later. Thank you for joining me in.
No problem.
And that guy. All right, we'll be back next week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Some of the guests I'm trying to work on, if you'd like to send messages to their Facebook pages, Moms Against Violent Sports, I'd like to have them on. Also, Christians Against Drugs, Moms Against Masturbation. Go to their Facebook pages, tell them you need to be on this show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for Chuck Lakaida from KMAX Sports. And for Crazy Joe Pardini, our OTA prognosticator in West Coast Dan, joining me in the Armed Radio Global Central Texas Man Cave, Alex, the player to be named later. For all of us here at Armed Radio, thank you for joining us tonight. You can go to www.ontheairwithmikeallen.com for the show replays and everything else about the show. We'll be updating that webpage. Also, we got new web pages for Armed Radio Global, so make sure you stick around and as we transition into some new platforms and better ways to get you this content, 24 hours of music plus talk shows every single night. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Allen. This has been the Armed Radio Global Network, your home for the anti-media, and you have been on the air.